Hello. February finished a while ago, but I've been busy, so I didn't have time to make this tier list of everything that I watched last month until now. I watched actually quite a bit. I had some mindless tasks that I needed to do that I just threw on a few movies that I'd heard about but didn't think I was going to completely love. So this is going to be probably a little bit more negative than I normally am. Explain the rankings. F is very, very bad. D is below average. C is solid. B is pretty good. A is amazing. And S is S. Starting off, I finished the Percy Jackson show. Percy Jackson and the Olympian show. It was solid. I thought its strongest episodes were at the beginning, and then I think it ended strong. Meandered in the middle. Lance Reddick was amazing as Zeus, rest in peace. And Walker Scobell is a natural as Percy. Flamin' Hot is a disaster. I did not finish this movie. I kind of hated it as it is like in those Ant-Man movies when Michael Pena is telling those stories. It's like that, but for a full movie. It feels like it's not exactly 1-to-1, obviously, but it has the same energy. And it's also just not a true story, like it says it is. And they knew that before they entered production. Fitting in is pretty good. This is I think it's a directorial debut of Molly McGlynn, and has Maddie Ziegler in the lead role. She is very good, probably her best performance. And it's about an intersex girl discovering that she is intersex. It is, I think, an important movie because there aren't very many intersex there's not much in the way of intersex representation in film, and it's also it's sold as a comedy, but I didn't actually find the movie that funny. I found it more interesting dramatically, and unfortunately, I think the third act is quite rough compared to the rest of the movie, but those first 2/3 were fantastic. Napoleon. Napoleon was disappointing. Amazing technical elements, especially the visual effects and production design and all that. Otherwise, it felt like a cut of a much longer movie where they cut out all the connective tissue between every scene. Blue Thermal is a cute anime about a girl who learns to fly gliders. It is extremely generic in terms of its story, but it is executed fairly well. Has a pretty solid score. And it's also, this one, like Fitting In is supposedly a comedy that I thought was a solid drama. This is supposedly a romance that I thought was a solid sports movie that doesn't seem to actually have any romance in it. Aliens belongs up here. Never seen it before. Going through the Aliens franchise for the first time, and this is one of the greatest movies I have ever seen. I don't think I need to talk too much about it. Paprika, very good. Actually had a similar issue with it that I had with Fitting In, and that the third act is definitely the weakest, but I think it's for different reasons. With Fitting In, it just kind of felt like it fell apart a bit, whereas with Paprika, the third act, I just didn't understand it, and I think I need to watch the movie about 5 more times before I do. This is Satoshi Kon's final film, and it is frequently cited as an inspiration for Inception. The people saying that Inception is just a copy of it are full of it. Inception has some connective tissue with this movie, but it is completely its own thing. But yeah, beautiful animation and music, and Um, just a very, very interesting mystery. Origin is on a, I guess, movie level, probably worse than, I mean, it's definitely worse than Paprika. Um, but I just really appreciate the ideas that it brought forth. Origin is very much a thinking movie. It's less about the story it's telling and more about the ideas it is talking about, and I was very receptive to them. Gran Turismo was solid. It is a actual true story, unlike Flamin' Hot, though heavily timelines, of course, were changed and all that. It's not like this most accurate version of that story, but at least the story actually happened. Yeah, I found myself feeling this movie pretty good. The racing scenes are really solid. Archie Madekwe, Orlando Bloom, and David Harbour are really good. Lisa Frankenstein. I absolutely love this movie. It is crazy and violent, and it's being marketed as a horror comedy, and it is not. It is, sorry, not a horror romance, horror romantic comedy, and it is not. It is a comedy for sure. It's very funny. So it was being described as a coming of rage film, and I think that perfectly describes it as well. It's an interesting film to talk about, and it has excellent production design and a fantastic lead performance from Catherine Newton. Madame Web is a disaster on every single level. I love this movie so much. Bottoms was solid. I think I'm a little bit lower on it than a lot of people, just because raunchy humor isn't necessarily my thing. But still absurdist and campy, and Ayo Edeburi is a star. Pluto. This is a incredible story. The writing is amazing in this. I think the presentation is for the most part very good, but it kind of felt like it was not a 10 out of 10 on the presentation or the voice acting front, though they were pretty good. And some of the dialogue was a little bit rote. It's more about the story, the plot, the mystery that's being told. That part of this this TV show is excellent. Miller's Girl is bad. Actually, I think it's going down here. Miller's Girl has some solid cinematography and music, and has solid dialogue technically, and there's a lot of elements of this movie that are solid that are just held down by an absolutely awful story. An Avocado Pit. This is a short film that was nominated for the Letterboxd Oscars. It's very vibey. It's 17 minutes long, I think, and it's about a trans woman who meets a straight guy who doesn't really know what he wants to do, and they just kind of hang out. It's pretty cute. I enjoyed it, and on the waterfront. Another one I was kind of disappointed by, but it's still a good movie. I'd heard that this revolutionized acting, and it may well have. The acting was really good, but even this month, I preferred a lot of the performances in Aliens. I preferred Ingenue Ellis in Origin, Catherine Newton in Lisa Frankenstein, and so even some of the performances in Gran Turismo and Bottoms to Marlon Brando here. I think it's just a natural evolution of acting. But yeah, it's a solid movie. Maybe I'm probably in the minority with this placement of just saying it's okay. Van Helsing is bad. I'm putting it above. I'm not putting it in the F tier though, because at least it's fun bad. It's not incompetently made. It just thinks it is so cool, and it very much is not. Its campy and edginess are clashing pretty hard. Deciding Vote. This is a short documentary about the man who cast the deciding vote to legalize abortion in New York. It's just a very solid documentary short. Alien Cubed. Alien Cubed is actually really good. Now, I hate it with a passion because of how hard it betrays aliens. But there's something to commend about its absolute insistence and commitment to being the least satisfying movie you'll ever see. And you can tell David Fincher, this is his directorial debut, and you can tell what's coming from him. He directs the heck out of this thing. The tension is through the roof, as with all these alien movies. I actually just really enjoyed the movie if you take out the first few minutes. Island in Between. There's nothing actually really wrong with this. It's just a kind of basic documentary about the island of Kinmen that is in between Taiwan and China. That's owned by Taiwan, but is much closer to China, and kind of about the tensions between Taiwan and China, but it doesn't really have anything to say other than this island really exists. Earth Mama. I think I'll put Earth Mama up here. I think it is wonderfully made and acted. I don't think I connected with it like some other people are going to, but this is just a great little movie about struggling pregnant woman who is trying to get her kids back. It's a very human movie. 95 Senses. This is a fantastic animated short from the team behind Napoleon Dynamite. I'm not going to spoil anything. Just go watch it. You can find it for free online. Once Upon a Studio is fine. Maybe I'm just not as attached to the Disney characters as a lot of people, but it was a cute little short. Pete is good for trans representation. It's a little short film, apparently by former Pixar animators, and you can tell with the animation style for sure. Pete is really solid, like 10-minute long short. I'd recommend it. Drag Me to Hell. I didn't actually finish this. I'm putting in D because it's not like it's a disaster like the bottom ones are, but I just I don't enjoy horror movies too much, and I just couldn't get through this. Demon Slayer to the Hashira Training. Never watched any Demon Slayer before. Probably not the way to do it, but it was fun and has an incredible score. To organize them, and Miller's Girl is easily the best of the F tier, and this is going to be the ranking. Madame Web is just such a glorious disaster. Van Helsing is going to be at the bottom, and I think that's a good ranking of the D tier. C. That can go down there. Avocado Pit stays there. Bottoms, Gran Turismo. I think Blue Thermal comes down to here. That looks good to me. B tier. I think Paprika and Alien Cubed go on the top. And then I'll do this. A tier. I think Pluto goes at the top. That is just an amazing story. This is tough because I think I personally actually do like Lisa Frankenstein more than Origin and 95 Senses, but I think Origin and 95 Senses are just better overall, so I think I'll do it like this, and then Aliens is alone on top. So, actually, I didn't even count how many I watched last month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 22, 26, 27, though a decent amount of them are short films. 27th, we have Madame Web. 26th, Flamin' Hot. 25th, Miller's Girl. 24th, Van Helsing. 23rd, Drag Me to Hell. 22nd, Island in Between. 21st, Napoleon. 20th is probably the biggest hot take here, on the waterfront. 19th, Once Upon a Studio. 18th, To the Hashira Training. 17th, Pete. 16th, An Avocado Pit. Interesting how the two trans movies got back to back there. I didn't actually even think about that when I was putting them there. 15th, Blue Thermal. 14th, Bottoms. 13th, Gran Turismo. 12th, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. 11th, Earth Mama. 10th, Deciding Vote. 9th, Fitting In. 8th, Alien Cubed. 7th, I got my numbers wrong somewhere. 6th, Paprika. 5th, Lisa Frankenstein. 4th, 95 Senses. 3rd, Origin, which should have gotten a little bit more. I kind of understand why I didn't. Maybe at least for Ingenue Ellis, a little more Oscar attention. 2nd, Pluto, and 1st is Aliens. I'll be back again next month with probably a lot less movies. I was in Mexico for the beginning of March and watched a lot of movies in Spanish on a bus. I do not speak Spanish, so the next rankings will be very interesting. Bye.